All right, for my running back prop here, I have I've had a lot of success on these running back props through the air. I think that's going to be a continuing theme for me, possibly for the rest of the season here, because I feel like I've cashed maybe 8 out of the 9 weeks that we've done this pod with the props here. So I'm going to go over to that game between the Colts and the Buffalo Bills this week here, Sleepy, and it's just me going back and fading the Buffalo Bills defense against running backs, especially through the air. And I'm looking at Jonathan Taylor to go over 19 and a half receiving yards in this game. So let's number one to start here with the Bills and how bad they have been defending running backs through the air. So thus far this season, they're allowing 8.4 targets per game to the running back position, and they're allowing close to 7 receptions per game, which is averaging to close to 58 receiving yards per game. I think the only 2 weeks where a running back did not get over this projection was week 3, Travis Etienne, 17 receiving yards, and then we'll go back a couple of weeks to week 7 against the Titans. Tony Pollard and Julius Chestnut only combined for 13 receiving yards. Now let's take a look at Jonathan Taylor with Joe Flacco being the quarterback here for this Colts team since they made that change last week. Last week, he did have 13 touches on the ground, but I think the one part that did stick out to me was his targets that he did have last week. He had 5 targets last week, 3 receptions, but he did, again, only equate to 11 receiving yards. If we go back earlier this season, he did have games of 32 receiving yards, 25 receiving yards, and 20 receiving yards, which was against the Packers, the Bears, and the Pittsburgh Steelers here. So I think you want to get your best player involved offensively, whether it's, running the ball, but more importantly in this game, at least through the air here, whether it's screen passes, whether it's, Charlie checkdowns here. I think there's going to be an opportunity here for Jonathan Taylor to get up and over this number of 19 and a half receiving yards here. So again, we've mentioned it a lot of times. If it's not broken, don't try to fix it. Let's go with Jonathan Taylor over 19 and a half receiving yards against the Buffalo Bills at home.
I think that you, myself, and Steve have been fortunate going back to the well with particular wagers really all season long.
Yeah.
That